The person the fitness instructor set the main character up with is the possible male lead, who at this point I am pretty sure is the male lead. He set them up together, and he didn't want to, because, like, the main character, he was convinced the male lead was straight. But the male lead's like, I want to date with the main character, and you're going to make it possible. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll set you two up. And they go on a date. And it was just so adorable. They were really formal with each other, but also being informal with each other. Like, they were acting like they were on their first date and acting like they didn't know each other. And it was just so fun to read. The main character wants to do something nice for everybody, so he gets vouchers from one of the ex-studios that he used to work for as a director, and he gets them to a hot spring. Yes. And I'm like, oh, this is going to get messy. I just know it's going to get a little messy when they go to a hot spring. The main character goes shopping with the streamer and the single father, and he buys something very expensive for the single father's daughter. And he's like, I need to do this. I'm her uncle. I need to spoil and pamper her, so don't worry about it. Don't matter how expensive it is, I'm buying it for her. And I'm like, ooh, someone is showing that he absolutely adores at the possibility of having a little girl at home. They're not even at the hot springs, and it has already gotten a little bit messy. And what do I mean by it's gotten messy? So the photographer and the fitness instructor wasn't with everybody during Christmas. They had things themselves they needed to do. The photographer had a job lined up to take photos on a cruise for rich women and men and their companions, while the fitness instructor had to go home and visit family for Christmas. Well, once he finishes his job on the cruise, the fitness instructor invited the photographer to come stay with his family. And it's typically so the photographer could take photos for a family friend at their funeral. And so, the photographer's there, he's staying with them, and they're acting like a couple. They kind of feel like a couple. And I mean, it gets a little messy towards the end because they get some sexy time between each other. They have a full-on sexy time with each other, watching some sexy stuff together. And I'm like, ooh, so are these two going to get together? Because they have a sexy moment with each other. I thought the fitness instructor would either got with the streamer or single father. And again, the photographer with either the single father and streamer. I wasn't seeing the possibility between these two, but now I'm seeing the possibility. The main character and the male lead, they go out for dinner with each other after the male lead returns back from business, and they gift each other gifts for Christmas. Like, the male lead gets the main character a new mobile phone, one from the US, and the main character buys him something really expensive, like a really expensive wallet. And the male lead was shocked by this. And I'm going to say this here and now. The male lead has an inferior complex. Like, he sees the main character's looks, and he kind of gets a gist of the main character's background. So he assumes the only way he could try to enthrall the main character to his side is by spending and splurging on the main character, making the main character his precious little sugar baby. But once he gets the gift from the main character, and he was invited to the trip to the, hot springs, he's like, what am I going to do now? My baby is more richer than it seems. And he's kind of freaking out because he has a bit of inferior complex. But they kiss. We have to push that to the side to state that these two kiss too. You might have an inferior complex, but they kissed. On their hot spring trip, the main character gets to see what the male lead is packing, and he's very pleased, and he's like, I can't wait to top that, because he loves topping men with big packagings. He absolutely adores doing that. He spends a good portion of the trip freaking out about bottoming, even though he said that he was perfectly fine bottoming. He's still fruitful about it. He freaks over it. He thinks about it the entire trip. And, he's perfectly fine bottoming, but he worries is that the male lead, once the male lead tops him, the male lead will never give up the position on topping, and the main character will be stuck bottom. He's perfectly fine being the bottom as long as he gets to top once in a while. He doesn't want to always bottom. And they get to have a sexy moment. They don't go all the way. It was the same with the photographer and fitness instructor. Those two didn't go the whole way. They just mess around with each other. And the same with the main character and male lead. They didn't go the whole way. They just mess with each other. And it's typically the reason why they didn't go all the way is because the male lead didn't pack lube, even though he wanted to go the whole way on their hot spring trip. And the main character's like, yeah, no, we're not doing it without lube. It will be very unhealthy and unwise and dangerous for us not to have lube. So yeah, I am not kidding. The male lead forgot lube because he didn't think they needed it or didn't think about it. Like, dude, seriously? Really? But they do actually have a talk about them bottoming and topping. The main character saying, I will be the main bottom of our relationship, but I do want to top off and on. You have to agree to this if we're going to sleep with each other. And the male lead agrees. He's perfectly fine bottoming once in a while, but he wants to be main top. So yes, they're going to be a verse couple. The main character being a verse bottom and the male lead being a verse top. The main character notices on their hot spring trip is that everyone's acting a little strange and being weird with each other. And he notices that the streamer and photographer who used to be up each other's business all the time is now avoiding each other, especially the streamer avoiding the photographer. And the photographer tells the main character it's because he didn't want to lead the streamer on and hurt the streamer down the line, so he lied to the streamer about having a relationship. And now the streamer is avoiding him, choosing to stay in a room with the single dad instead of staying in the room with the photographer, and the photographer staying with the fitness instructor. But later they switch rooms again, where the single father is staying with fitness instructor and the photographer staying with the streamer in a room. And so the main character realizes there's more strange behavior going on between all four of the men, and he doesn't understand what's going on. And I'm like, it's because these men are getting messy with their relationships. They're all messing around, and it's not good for any of them. The single father, he has feelings for the main character. He outright states to us as the readers, and it was really obvious beforehand that he had feelings for the main character. He loves how the main character takes care of his daughter, supportive of his daughter, going out his way to take care of the daughter so he will have free time himself, how the main character takes care of him. The main character hits all the pointers he's looking for a partner. He's suspicious of the male lead because of his own feelings for the main character, but he thinks the male lead is hiding something from the main character, and he doesn't like that. He doesn't want the main character to be hurt. Like, this man very much cares and is in love with the main character. And when he got drunk and the male lead got drunk, the main character took care of both of them and took care of the dude's daughter all night long. And before the main character went to take care of him and his daughter, he was telling the fitness instructor and the streamer he had feelings for the main character, which made the streamer feel a little pleased with himself because he's not the only one in the house dealing with unrequited love with someone who lives with them. And it's just really sad. Like, this dude's so much in love with the main character, but his inferiority complex keeps him from telling the main character how he feels. He also compares himself to the male lead and puts himself down more every time he compares himself to the male lead. While playing Truth or Dare, we learn a little facts about these guys. The fitness instructor and the streamer are both masochists. The photographer likes his back door being messed with, but he tries claiming that he's his top, and everybody's like, you a switch. You like switching. You like bottoming. And he's like, no, I'm a top. I'm a full-on top. I just like my back door being messed with. And they're like, yeah, right. And the single father, he wants a male wife. He wants a beautiful, gorgeous male wife to come home to. And they're all like, ooh, seriously? So, like, the photographer, and he's like, no, because the type he's talking about is the main character kind of type. Like, he wants his beautiful male wife to come home to, and I agree to that. I want a male wife one day to go home to. I can't blame him there. But just reading this whole thing had me shading them, being gleeful, giggling, me going, oh my God, no! Oh, really? Like, I was just having a little too much fun with it. We also find out the fitness instructor has bottom. So these dudes are not afraid about switching. They are not afraid about switching. But the fitness instructor specifically stated that after that one time, he was so sure that he was a top. So I just love how these men have no fear about switching. I just love it. I love it. I find it so rare to find switches in domes. But this one has switches, and I'm so happy about it.